A title is a title, and the Lakers' 2020 championship banner will fly forever. But despite a tremendous expectation coming into the 2021-2022 season, the Lakers have been officially eliminated even from playing contention, with 7 consecutive losses dropping them to 11th place in the West. The final blow came courtesy of the Suns, a team that Anthony Davis claimed got away with one in their series last postseason because he was injured. I mean, that was probably a joke. Then again, who knows? Vogel will be fired 2 years after winning a championship, and the Lakers will head to the draft lottery, where they will hand over their pick to either the Pelicans if it lands in the top 10 or the Grizzlies if it falls outside. This season is the greatest disappointment in LeBron's career, even if he qualifies for and then outscores Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers and Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks for the scoring title. But the bigger question is, overall, is this the greatest disappointment in NBA history? I'm going to go with yes. So much hype came into this team from a social media standpoint. Ever since they got Westbrook, they all claimed no one was going to beat this team. But we're all laughing now because they ended up being the laughingstock of the NBA all season. Since that 2020 bubble championship, the Lakers fell, and they fell hard. They didn't just fail to compete for a title, they didn't even make the play-in field. Throughout the 2021-2022 season, the Lakers never came close to resembling a title contender. While James was out for 24 games, Anthony Davis for 39, and plenty of role players spent significant time on the sideline, Lakers have often argued the outcome would have been much different had their players not missed a combined 230 games due to injuries and illnesses, as well as another 39 games related to COVID-19. If only they had not fielded 39 different lineups to account for all those overlapping absences. If only James, Davis, and Russell Westbrook played more than 21 games together. If only Kendrick Nunn, a key offseason free agent signing, did not miss the entire season because of a bone bruise in his right knee, then perhaps the Lakers could have played games into June instead of going fishing in April. But don't buy that argument though. The Lakers did not miss the playoffs for the first time in 4 years because of injuries. The Lakers barely hovered above or below 500 all season, mostly because of their flawed roster. The miscues started when the Lakers determined which third star to pair with James and Davis. They could have had DeMar DeRozan, and all they needed to do was perform a single sign-and trade with the San Antonio Spurs, a move the Lakers would not have been able to pull off since they would have been subject to a hard cap. And then the Lakers came close to getting Kings guard Buddy Hield until deciding otherwise and landing, you know it, Russell Westbrook. But not everything's bad. The Lakers still had some young talent in Austin Reeves, Malik Monk, and THT. But none of those players could camouflage the Lakers' otherwise faulty roster. On paper, the Lakers feature 4 players of the NBA's 75th anniversary team: James, Davis, Westbrook, and Carmelo Anthony. But in reality, the Lakers fielded a much different identity. In James, they had one of the best players still playing in his prime, despite being in his 19th season. They also had a co-star in Anthony Davis, who has struggled with staying healthy. Their third star, Westbrook, showed both an unwillingness and inability to adjust his game. Anthony, one of the NBA's top scorers ever, was a bench scorer who hardly offered much on defense. After failing to do so last summer, the Lakers will have to prove once again they can find the correct third star to complement LeBron James and Anthony Davis, as well as find the right mix of role players. Sure, it would also help if the Lakers had fewer injuries, yet the Lakers' injuries only represented the symptoms of their failed season. The root cause of the franchise's shortcomings traces back to the team's personnel decisions.